Hey everybody, we're back for the finale, the final section of this webinar video on how to become an instant expert on women and climate change. We are going to be putting our points through a fancy easy R machine to make sure that they are easy to receive, remember, and repeat. So as you may remember from past episodes, we have some points, and here's our possible talking points. But these are good and they have a lot of good things going for them, but we need to shape them up to be a little bit more, as we call it, easy R. So remember to be able to, for people to receive something, remember it and repeat it. It must be surprising, right? It's got to surprise them. It must be visual. Absolutely most important thing. They have to be able to make pictures in their mind if they're going to be able to remember anything. It must be simple. We have to boil everything down. It's got to be relatable. So we have to be careful about that when we're talking about international problems. And finally, it's got to feel urgent. So let's take a look at our points and put them through our easy R talking machine and make them all more surprising and urgent, etc. And here we go. Here's our page one of talking points that are easy R. Climate change hurts every man, woman, and child in our world and every creature, as we see with fire-threatened koala bears in Australia. But women. So then I go on to women. I want to get those koala bears in there because people have to have a way of entering into that disaster. And koala bears are going to lead us to women and children. The second on the pink sheet has the analogy. That's like losing most of the women. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to the green one. 80% of people displaced by climate change are women. And then I talk about 83% of poor mothers never being able to return. And then in the pink sticky before it, it said, that's like losing most of the women on your street or church, some of them pregnant. So I've highlighted the things here that I think make them easier are. And usually if I have the word you or your, I will do that. On the blue sticky, we have sexual assault can triple after disasters. And then we have at the bottom of that the research that shows that that happened in one place. And then climate change is coming to New England first. And then at the bottom, what does that mean for Springfield, Chicopee, and Holyoke? These are towns that are right around us. Our second page is the good news. And I think that people really will like this, especially women. This will be very motivating and very easy R and sticky. Women make up most of the leadership in climate activism. Again, that was according to one study. I may find different stuff, but for right now, I'm going to go with that. Women get connected through women's marches. So when you march, your activism builds and you inspire others. Women are key because they get the danger of climate change and more than men, and that they lead climate change activism. And we see that with teen girls. So I wanted to get things that were easy to remember, easy to take in, and easy to repeat. Now, I probably wouldn't use all of these. In fact, I was on an interview show where I just used one of them about women lead climate change. I had to get that in, but I have those things, and I would be picking which three I might use for which particular media. My examples, but I want you to have a sheet here of tips for easy R talking points. So here are some ways to package your information or facts that make people take it in better. Here's some phrases. Here's what that means for you and me. So when we talk about climate displacing people, and most of those people being women, we're going to say, here's what that means for you and me. Then we say, imagine your neighborhood or church. Now picture losing 80% of your friends and neighbors to climate change. Asking people to imagine something that's in their lives is really effective because they generally do that. Let me give you an analogy. So when you say that to somebody, it's like saying, imagine your neighborhood. You say, let me give you an analogy, then people know you're going to take care of them in terms of helping them understanding what you say. What most people don't know is that cues that you're going to have surprising information. So I might use that when I say, what most people don't know is women and children are 14 times more likely to die in climate disasters. And then actually what I wanted to do is take that 14 times and find analogies for that. And then finally, something that people love is to have information packaged in a numbered package. So all you have to remember is three things. When you can number things, here's what I care about, three things. Here's what I want to get you to understand today, three things. It makes it eminently more easier for people to take in. And finally, let's go back to that article that we had seen so long ago in the Gender Differences in Public Understanding of Climate Change, and remember what it said. Women tend to be less certain of what they know, even though they have a more accurate understanding of risks and threats from global warming. So what I hope I've done today, and I know I've done it for myself, and I hope I've done it for you, is to tell you some facts, to let you be certain of what you know, and to feel more confident when you talk about it, whether it's on behalf of your Women's March or your organization. Here's one last resource to keep you sane. This was an article in the New York Times recently, How to Stop Freaking Out and Tackle Climate Change. It's a great article. I'm going to tell you one thing that I really enjoyed about it. This part right here. Whoops. This part right here. Focus on systems, not yourself. So don't use your energy to make sure you're not using straws, etc. That stuff is all useful, but the most impactful work is on systems. So it talks about what the author chose to work on. She says, I have chosen to fight against a proposed gas pipeline, etc. That's way more important than any individual things she could work on. So focus on systems, not yourself. So what's next? If you want to get this presentation in PDF form, none of my fancy, crazy animations, email me at Cathy@womenspeakup.org. I want you to go out there and talk about what you care about. You only need to say one or two things and give an example of it and make it easy R, and you're all set. I want you to steal anything from here you want. I mean, any of the facts, of course, any of the research, please use it. Please copy it. If you want to use my slides, I'd ask you to just give me credit and then tell me what you think or what you know about this issue. And maybe we can keep this presentation going and keep other information in it. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been super fun. It started before Christmas when I got sick and I could just sit on the couch, but I could work on this. I taught myself a lot. I feel like, yes, I am an expert on women and climate change in that I can talk about it for a few minutes and help other people to learn a little bit more about it. It was so much fun. I taught myself how to do this screencasting and lots of stuff about slides and video. So thanks so much for sticking with me. I really would love to hear your feedback. Really would love to keep this conversation going. If you want to sign up for my mailing list, you can go right to womenspeakup.org and you get occasional newsletters. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. So if you're interested, do sign up. Thanks everybody and happy marching.